All right, good morning, everybody. Can everybody hear me okay all the way in the back? Welcome. Good morning still, but working on lunchtime here. So everybody, it looks like a lot of people have already gotten a start, and that's great. We want you to enjoy yourselves. Obviously, there's been a lot of networking and fun mingling and introducing going on here in the beginning. So I would suggest maybe in the future we need to have this start a little bit earlier so we have a little more time to talk to everybody. But it's great to see everybody getting around the room and introducing themselves. So welcome, be comfortable, enjoy the meal. I first want to start off before I go through these introductions here and we get the featured speakers and the whole program rolling. I want to thank our lunch sponsor today, which is World Energy Paramount, and recognize them. That's right. They're up here at the front table, the World Energy Paramount people. And on your table, they want everyone to know, is a gift from them today. World Energy Paramount is becoming a leader in green energy. I kind of hate to say this, and I'm hesitant to say this, but a lot of people who have been around the city for a long time remember Paramount Petroleum, and we don't say the P word anymore. It's World Energy now. That's who they are. Same great people, but they're doing a completely different thing. They haven't done anything with petroleum over there for a very long time, so they really want everybody to know they're World Energy, and what their main business is doing is making renewable fuels, and so they're very committed to green energy and thinking about how we can better preserve our planet, and they wanted everyone to have those gifts that are in the little bag on your chairs or at your tables. It's a pair of reusable straws, which are becoming very, very popular. Very popular even in this room, and a lot of the restaurateurs in this room, because the chamber is full of restaurateurs, all know that the laws are changing and what you're able to give out in straws, and so that's another way to be able to do it. So the hardest part of this, and I do apologize because I came in from Nashville very late last night, and I left my voice there. So if it sounds like I'm getting a cold, that's not what it is. I've just been talking loud all week long. So, but I'm glad I made it back. It was raining very hard there, and I'm glad it wasn't raining as hard here, or not at all. So got in a break in the weather. But the hardest part of this, and this is my second time doing it, I'm taking a second little tour of duty here as the chamber president this year. I did it a few years ago. And the hardest part is always getting through all the introductions, because it's part of the service to let everybody know who is in the room. But this room, I think we've got about 155 today for lunch, and I think I have about 157 people to introduce somehow. So I'm going to try to really get it down there. So bear with me, and I'll tell you when to applaud, and that way, I apologize, not everybody will get introduced, but we'll do the best we can. So part of the big value of the event we recognize for you guys is knowing who's here and getting to know your neighbors and the city staff and the local government representatives and the service providers in this great city of Paramount. So with that, I want to first lead off and start with the representatives of the elected officials who are here today, and that is Luz Castro from the office of Lucille Roybal Allard and Adrian Landa from the Speaker of the Assembly, Anthony Rendon's office. Now you can applause. Please applause for those elected officials. Thank you. And from the city of Paramount, we have, of course, one of our featured speakers today, hold your applause, will be our Mayor, Diane Martinez, Vice Mayor Tom Hansen, council members Lori Guillen, Peggy Lemons, Daryl Hoffmeyer, and the city manager, John Moreno. Did I forget Tom Hansen? No, Vice Mayor, I think I got him, Tom Hansen. Now, round of applause. Thank you. All right. And from the Paramount Unified School District, representing the school district are board members, Vice President Yesenia Quarantena. Okay, thank you. Vivian Hansen, Linda Garcia, Tony Pena, and another featured speaker today, Dr. Ruth Perez, our superintendent. Let's give them a round of applause. Of course, we have to thank the LA County Sheriff's Department, who serve as our law enforcement agency in the city of Paramount, keeping us all safe. We have with us today Commander Jim Wallach, Captain Richard Harpham, Lieutenant Oscar Berrigan, and Sergeant Pascual Aiello. Let's give them a round of applause. Thank you, Sheriff's Department in the back. Representing the Compton Community College District, we have Keith Curry, our Community College District Provost and CEO, Deborah LeBlanc, Sonia Lopez, and Barbara Calhoun, who are all Board of Trustees members. Thank you for being here. That was Compton Community College. Thank you very much. And also very close to my heart because it's another board that I sit on as well. We have Clara Potis Fellow and Monica Copeland from the Cerritos College Foundation, which is another local community college that we do a lot with here in the city of Paramount. So we thank them for coming today as well. Raise your hands, ladies. A few other VIPs and special guests that we just want to recognize. The executive director today for SIACA, which is our animal control agency in the city of Paramount. Sally Hazard is here today. I'll blow through these last three here, I promise. Jeremy Eknos, the senior executive director for the YMCA. Kim Goforth, the president of the Teachers Association of Paramount. Denise Diaz, visiting from the city of Southgate, is the council member there, Denise Diaz. So thank you all for attending. Wave at us so we know where you are. And finally, before I just say a little bit about our chamber board and what we do, I want to recognize the people who do a lot of the heavy lifting for the chamber is our ambassador crew, and they are here today represented by our ambassador chair, Dr. Linda Timmons, our vice chair, Erica from Wavefront Technology, Margaret Garcia, who's a longtime teacher here in the city of Paramount, Ibn Johnson from Farmers and Merchants Bank, Rudy Sandoval from Real Estate Homes and Investments, Gabby Tovar from Paramount Sister Cities, Tepic Sister Cities, and Tony Warfield from United Credit Education Services. All of those ambassadors are here. Let's give them a big round of applause. Thank you. Okay, so please continue with your lunch, your salads, whatever's being served to you, and we'll work our way through the event here. I just wanted to, I think I've got a forward back on this, kind of welcome you and introduce you and put some visuals up there for you so that you kind of know who is behind the chamber. And this is our executive board of directors, of course. Ben Berg, our senior vice president, Gary Johnson is our vice president, Brenda Olmos is our current past president, and everybody knows, of course, Dr. Max Martinez, the friendly dentist here in Paramount Boulevard. This makes up our executive board. And kind of rounding out our board of 13 executive directors, just so you kind of get an idea of the names that you see here, you know, starting from Max down. We have Leonard Crespo from Total Western, Aaron Donay from World Energy Paramount, Glory Gamino from Casa Gamino Restaurant, Jasmine Giao from SC Fuels, Bill Kalpakoff from Calmet Services, Tony Manos of Domino's Pizza, Chris Rich of Wavefront Technologies, Queen Uchekwe from Weber Metals, and Alicia Valadez from Northgate Supermarkets. As you can see, there's just a tremendous amount of businesses represented. That's good. Go ahead and applause, please. And businesses represented in a lot of just diversity of ideas, a lot of energy. Our board meetings are always very fun and exciting, and it's what leads to great events like this. And so when we were, the last couple of years at the chamber, we have seen a lot of changes, more changes than we've seen in a very, very long time. Of course, Peggy Lemons, most of you saw her today. You know she's still a current city council member here in the city of Paramount, longtime resident, of course, had run the chamber for 27 years and retired in last year from the chamber in 2018. During that transition time, we brought in Kyle Miller, who was a wonderful chamber executive director worked hand in hand with Barbara Croson and really brought a kind of a new energy and a new way of doing things and some different ideas. And it really put some new events for the Chamber on the map last year that we're very, very proud of. But we feel like as the elections of November 2018 passed, Kyle was offered a job to go work for an elected official, and his background was in government, so that's something that he really wanted to pursue. And we feel like we have a very, very strong team going forward with Barbara Croson, who's been working both with Peggy and Kyle for almost 4 years now, or right around 4 years now, and with our staff, Dora Sanchez, and some others that help out in the office on a regular basis. We feel like the Chamber is really stronger than ever and better suited to serve your needs or the needs of the businesses here in Paramount than we have ever been, believe it or not. So, thank you. So, you know, the Chamber is obviously not every member, not every business in the city of Paramount is in the Chamber, but all of the best ones are. We always like to say that. And a lot of people don't recognize all of the services that we can provide as a Chamber. And I just want to highlight a few of them because there's so many things that we do on a day-to-day basis. But the biggest thing is networking events. And networking events are always a chance to meet your neighbors, meet your local government officials and service providers here in the city. And those really, really range from events like the State of the City Address with featured speakers today that you'll hear from. You know, this is a once-a-year event for us, and we hope that you'll be back. If this is your first one, we want to welcome you. We have a golf tournament. We have a poker tournament. We do business lunches. We now have a women in business luncheon that we do every year. It was very popular as a first-time new event for us last year. Huge success. And we're doing more and more things. We're looking to do concerts and festivals and parades and on and on and on. So the Chamber is really behind all of that. And when you see an event like that going on in the city, even if it's just a ribbon cutting, or I say just a ribbon cutting, those are a big deal, you know, for a new business here in Paramount to get them launched and get them feeling like part of the community and getting that early support. There's always somebody that I just mentioned in this presentation behind those events. There's a lot of subcommittees, a lot of work that goes on behind the scenes. So once again, I just want to thank everybody that gets involved and rolls up their sleeves and does that work. Another big service that we do in the city that the Chamber does is puts together the Pulse Beat, which basically serves as the unofficial official newspaper of Paramount, if you know what I mean. There's a lot of news in there. Anytime you want to know what's going on in the city of Paramount, it's in the Pulse Beat. And the Pulse Beat is another thing that's undergone a lot of changes in the past year, and we're kind of rebranding it. It's got a new look. It's got a new feel. There's a little different editor and organizer involved in it. So we're trying to add some things and make it very, more useful and more current for everyone. So it also gives our members a great opportunity to communicate and tell your story, because we know a lot of the business out there have a great story, and it needs to be told to the residents in the city and everybody in the area. So. And then finally, the business resources, there's just too many to list, but we do a lot of small business training, guidance. We offer certificate approval, and you name it. So many, many good reasons to be involved with the Chamber. And I'm very, very proud and honored to be working with this Chamber, because I do think it's unique and has more energy than most that I've seen. And I'm very, very happy, and it's been a great year. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and finally make my final thank you to our lunch sponsor today, which is Cafe Camellia, and they're providing the lunch for you. And I'd like to offer them a round of applause. And with that, I'll let you get back to eating, but before the meal is served, I would like to bring up Pastor Grady Jones from the New Commandment Baptist Church, and he will come forward and give our invocation. Pastor Grady Jones, here he comes.
First of all, I got a complaint. Everybody's name is called by my name as somebody in the city. And plus, y'all got me in the dark up here. Can y'all see me out there? Let us pray, please. Father God, we thank you once again for another day in a country where we can worship you in spirit and truth. Thank you, Father God, for the fellowship among the citizens of Paramount, Father God. And as always, we invite your presence to this service today, Father God. We have a blessed time in your name, but realizing knowing that you have brought the city from mighty long ways. Truly, your grace and mercy have been with us, Father God. We've gone through many transitions. From the early days to this very present day, we have seen this city grow under the leadership you placed here. Thank you for the commitment to the city, Father God, the business in the city, Father God, the schools, the different sectors of the city, Father God, that make up the city called Paramount. Help us to realize how blessed we are to be in a city where we can go to the council and talk to the people on the council and get things done in our city. We thank you for the state of our city, Father God, strong under the leadership you placed here. Help us all to understand how blessed we are to be in America, to be in the state of California, be in the sunshine where it's not cold on the East Coast. How we do thank you, Father, for the blessing we have in California, for our family and for our Paramount members, and for each and every home that's represented. We give you honor and praise and glory. Keep us all in your perfect divine will. In Jesus' name we ask it all, and bless the food, we pray. Amen.
It is always a privilege to participate in this annual State of the City event, to be included, quite honestly, as a validation by the city of the importance of our schools and the education of our students. An economist once said, "The wealth of a community is contingent upon the success of its schools." Our success is the success of the city of Paramount, the business community, the real estate community, and quite honestly, the future of our country. 19 schools and almost 15,000 students, we could not do our work without your positiveness and your support. Before I begin, I want to recognize some very important people that without their leadership, guidance, and support, we could not accomplish the great things happening in Paramount schools. Would board members Vivian Hansen and Linda Garcia please stand? I would also like to introduce my executive team, Dr. Debbie Stark, Dr. Myrna Morales, please stand, Dr. Ryan Smith, and Mr. Ruben Frutos. With us also are some extra special guests that I will introduce later in the presentation. The mission of Paramount Unified School District is to ensure learning and success for each student by providing a quality education. Almost 3 years ago, our district developed a comprehensive strategic plan to guide our work toward ensuring all students graduate prepared for success in both college and careers. Our strategic plan has 4 focus areas: college and career-ready graduates, high-quality teaching and learning, positive school climate and environments conducive to learning, and parents and community partnerships. My address today will share the work that we have engaged in this past year to address each focus area. Throughout, I will share brief clips of what our work looks like and introduce you to some of our students, faculty, and community partners. As superintendent, I sometimes hear, "But not all students are going to college, Dr. Perez." And that is true, but you will notice that this focus area that guides our work is college and career graduates. That is because today there is little difference between the preparation needed to be successful in college and career. Today's high school graduates must have the knowledge, skills, expertise, and certifications necessary to be successful in their post-secondary plans, whether they include college or not. Because of this reality, we have been focused on encouraging our students to be prepared for both. As a result, the 4-year enrollment of Paramount Unified graduating students into 4-year colleges and universities continues to increase. And this is just 4-year colleges, not 2 years. As you may know, the SAT is an important exam that is a crucial part of the college admissions process. In the past, The SAT has been a barrier for some students as it costs $50 each time a student takes it, and usually must be taken on a Saturday at a different location. Our Board of Education has completely removed these barriers for our students. We have worked with the College Board to provide the SAT twice each year for free during the school day and in our own high schools for access and convenience. The increased access to this exam is part of the reason why enrollment in four-year colleges and universities continues to increase each year for Paramount graduates. And we want that trend to continue. I'd like for you to hear from a student, a parent, and a counselor at our high school about the impact that this has had for them.
For me, it's been very beneficial because of the idea that since I'm starting very early in my high school career, I can see how I'm progressing through these various tests.
For me as a parent, I think it's been great because right now I have two. I have a 9th grader and a 12th grader. So actually my 8th grader, she took the PSAT last year, and I've seen my senior, my son, how I could actually see what he needs and kind of guide him or kind of encourage him. Like sometimes when you take the test for the first time, maybe you don't have any idea what the test is going to look like. So for them to be able to actually see how it looks, I think it's something great. And especially because we don't have to pay for the test. It's free. It's being offered for free.
Having access to just take the exam for free already eliminates a barrier from students. The fact that our district was able to provide or implement an SAT school day district-wide is amazing. Students have different barriers, like different activities going on Saturdays, or reasons why they couldn't pay for the exam. And now students, it's embedded in their school day, and they're able to take advantage of that. So we are happy that students have the access and can see their progress and monitor, which is what a school counselor wants students to do.
Did you know that Paramount Unified opened its first ever new Academy High School in August? Odyssey STEM Academy is a brand new small high school where our students have the opportunity to be a part of a high school experience that is truly unique. Odyssey scholars, as we call them, and they call themselves, are engaged in learning that is hands-on, minds-on, and hearts-on, as is their motto. Odyssey scholars work on projects throughout the year that seek to make the world a better place and go out into the real world twice a week to work with community mentors through career internships. By the way, Mr. Keith Nuthall, the principal, is here. He was invited by one of our business partners. Mr. Nuthall, would you please stand for a moment? New principal in our district. He's experienced, but he's a new principal in our district.
We're responsible for our own work, and we have to take initiative and really ground ourselves and say, okay, I need to get this turned in, I need to do my best on this because it's our work we're submitting for ourselves a better understanding.
So our ability to kind of rethink the way relationships are connected between our teacher advisors and our community and our scholars is really very different. So with our internship program and the way in which we view authentic learning, it really connects our scholars and teachers to industry professionals and businesses in our community, which empowers not only our teachers and scholars, but it empowers our community to help our scholars be the very best.
So when we first started, we were thinking about people and how their everyday struggles and how they have disabilities. And the first one that came up to me was blindness, because I have a family member that suffers from it. And so I feel sympathetic with them because they can't do stuff that we can usually do. I guess you could call it we created it for the blind. Okay, so right here is an ultrasonic sensor. It's a sensor that measures distance from an object from an object to another, and we programmed it for a certain distance that I think it was 100 centimeters. Where if it detects something from 100 centimeters or below, then it will transport it into audio, so it can basically warn you before you bump into something. So if I put my hand, there's noise coming in from the speaker to warn you that there's something in your way, like be careful, watch out. And yeah.
Going back to college and career graduates, we have also worked to increase the opportunities that students have to earn college credits in high school by expanding our advanced placement program. Advanced placement courses are college-level courses that are offered in our high schools. Students who pass these exams in various subjects receive college credit for them at almost all colleges and universities. These exams cost about $100 each in Paramount. Students take as many as they need for free, thanks to our Board of Education. Let's hear from a couple of our students about what this has meant for them.
I feel like you guys have done a lot for us, and I think that, to me, it means a lot that there are people who want to give us opportunities. And I feel like from here you just keep expanding, keep providing fee waivers and more programs and things to get kids who don't feel like they can accomplish something get an opportunity to accomplish something.
Keep advocating for the people who can't, lower income families. You guys have done a very good job, and you've really shifted the way Paramount was viewed, because back then I know there were AP courses offered at the school and it was looked on as bad, but now we're up there.
College is getting more and more expensive too. The free application for federal student aid that we call FAFSA is important for our students to complete and submit before they graduate. It's also a complicated application. The FAFSA is the gateway to grants, scholarships, and loans, and can help students and families chart a path towards paying for college. We have made FAFSA completion an emphasis in our district, and are proud to share that more and more seniors are completing it than ever before. In order to help students become career ready, we have developed several pathways at our high school that give them hands-on experiences and training in a variety of areas such as culinary arts, medical, entrepreneurship, media arts, and engineering. I'd like to introduce you to Osvaldo, who is one of our culinary arts students. Osvaldo recently won $1,000 in a competition sponsored by Paramount's own Marucan. This competition included college-level culinary arts students from Cerritos College. Our media arts students developed a promotional video. Yes, our high school students developed a promotional video last year for the world-famous Toshiba Classic golf tournament held in Newport Beach. Every year when our students are invited to this event, everybody wants to go supervise the students at the Toshiba Classic, but that was developed by our students. And of course, our partnership with PEP, the Paramount Education Partnership, remains strong, helping more and more of our students receive scholarships. In the last 2 years, our schools involvement with the support of the community and business partners has generated over $250,000 in scholarships. The city helps us reward our top fundraising schools as a result of this March Madness we have in our schools like you've never seen before. The competition is very, very stiff. Our strategic plan states that all Paramount Unified School District students will be provided with daily instruction that is standards-based, relevant, personalized, and rigorous. Technology will be used as a tool to enhance and personalize instruction and improve learning. Staff will hold high expectations for the achievement of all students. And I want to share with you that our work begins in preschool. Once we get them in, we begin our work, and we begin with instilling in them the mindset of college, instilling in them the mindset of achievement. Paramount Unified is in the second year of a 3-year plan to provide Chromebooks to all students in grades 3 through 12. These Chromebooks are meant for use in school and at home. Combined with our learning management system called Schoology, the devices are revolutionizing teaching and learning. Here, our students engage in collaborative research and presentations using their Chromebooks. Our teacher, Mr. Tellez, talks about the advantage of streamlined communication and speedy access to resources. Activities now take one day that in previous years would consume nearly a week of class time.
And then group 4 and 5, you will be doing the Ptolemaic Empire.
So today's lesson is on Greek and Persian empires. And so the way I do it is I split up the empires per group. Each group is going to examine an empire. And the way they're going to do this, the way they're going to share their information that they find is through using a Google Slide presentation. By being able to use Google Slides, I'm using a presentation that is live and every student in the classroom has access to and is able to type into. At the end of this little session where they're writing in their answers on the Google Slides, they're going to present and they're going to be able to share out the information that they find instantly because of the Chromebooks. This lesson, it's a jigsaw lesson that used to take me anywhere from 2 to 4 days to do. And now I'm able to do it in one class period. So yeah, with the AP students, they love to communicate with me. So the use of Schoology, they send me messages constantly asking me for clarification on a question, asking me for help. I get a lot of messages from parents as well. And Schoology just makes it a lot easier for me to be able to work with the students almost instantly. I have the Schoology app on my phone. I message them on the spot. I'll open up quizzes for them. I'll pull up resources for them. Schoology makes it so easy for us to be able to do that.
And if you have a problem, you can just go to the group and then they'll help you.
Yes.
And if you need to talk to a student, you could email them through Schoology. Yeah.
Oh, I see. So do you do that with your teacher also?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. How do you like Schoology?
I like it. You can see your grades.
Yeah, you can see your grades, and it'll be easier. So you can have updates and watch. Let me show you. They give you information.
It tells you upcoming events, and then your teachers could email you what you might need to bring to class.
Gotcha. So are grades important to you?
Yes,
Yeah.
very.
Last question. Are you having fun?
Yeah.
Here are state test scores in math and language arts compared with districts with similar demographics such as Paramount. We are also outperforming them in English language arts, and as I know you are aware, the state of California joined other states a few years ago to move towards new standards called the Common Core that are challenging our students to think, to express themselves, and to defend their answers. Gone are the days of multiple choice question tests. Now there is greater emphasis on the skills needed to become thinkers and innovative creators. This transition has challenged schools and districts as we provide our teachers with professional development training, support with new materials and technology to help them teach our students. I had the great pleasure of meeting Frank Geary and learn about the Turnaround Arts program in California. The arts are integral in a quality education. Co-founded in 2014 by renowned architect Frank Geary and arts education advocate Melissa Shriver, Turnaround Arts California is a nonprofit organization that seeks to enhance academic instruction by engaging, empowering, and transforming education through the arts. Zamboni Middle School was selected this year to become a Turnaround Arts School. And here you will see how celebrities work with our students at Zamboni. Chad Smith, by the way, is the drummer for Red Hot Chili Peppers.
I just kind of show up, and it's awesome to see the kids, and it seems like they're really happy to be learning. This is my school. This is, you know, I'm the Turnaround Arts ambassador, mentor. What I don't know what my title is. You know, I think music and art should be part of a curriculum, not like electives or after school or whatever. It's the fun part, but it's also like there's math and music involved.
I have one beat. It's faster and slower, pretty much the same beat. That's all you need. Yeah, let's go.
It's creative, and you're being creative. When you can be creative in one area, it will carry over to other areas.
Our cast revolves on trading, farmers, and artisans.
Okay, and do you know what roles you're going to be playing?
I'm the businessman.
So this is the first year for this school for me, so I'll stick with these guys for a while.
So we continue to stress the arts in our schools because they're integral to academic instruction. We're able to provide environments conducive to learning thanks to the voters that approved a $106 million bond 2 years ago. Allow me to provide you with an update on Measure I so you can see your dollars at work. The district has completed significant renovations at several elementary campuses with more than 50 rooms renovated in just the last 6 months. All surface-mounted electrical and data wiring were moved within walls, giving classrooms more teachable space. New carpet continues to be installed, as well as new ceiling tiles and lights. Cabinetry is updated, and roofing and rain gutters are retrofitted. Doors and trim are painted, and classroom exteriors are painted. All floors, walls, and ceilings are inspected, and any needed repairs are performed. We're in the process of renovating all cafeterias, and we have some happy cafeteria ladies. Kitchen remodels have been completed at several elementary schools. Specialty projects or specialized projects such as the cosmetology program at the adult school is beginning this spring. And we continue an ambitious program to paint and refurbish the outdoor spaces in all our schools with amazing results in schools such as PHS West Campus. If you haven't noticed driving on Paramount Boulevard, PHS West looks beautiful, thanks to a wonderful paint job. And here are our little ones. Since 2017, one of our strongest partners has been Vision to Learn, a nonprofit organization that provides free eye screening, eye exams, and free prescription glasses to students. Over 14,000 students have had their vision screened, over 1,500 have been provided free eye exams, and over 1,300 have been provided free prescription eyeglasses, thanks to this wonderful partner. One positive adult in the life of a student can be transformational for the child. Building and providing student mentorships in our schools is a way in which we seek to ensure our students have emotional support and guidance. A few mentorship programs have been started in our middle schools and high schools, and a very significant one is Ambassadors of Compassion. AOC, as we call them, is reaching more and more of our students. Some of you in this audience are serving as coaches and mentors to support over 100 high school students this year. We recently held a celebration at the Bianchi Theater for our mentees. I invited a student to come and share with you. He completed this program and what this program has done for him. He's going to share it in 3 or 4 sentences. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like you to meet Carlos Arambula Bojolcuz.
My name is Carlos Arambula, and I am a 11th grader in Paramount High School. I remember getting a text from Coach saying, oh, yeah, the guys have to go to this new program. I remember none of us wanted to go. We wanted to go to the field and go practice because I'm in baseball. And I remember on our first day, they told me something that I would never forget. It was, if you add all the positive things in your life, it'll outrule all the negative things. And I'm a very negative person. Very. Last year, for my sophomore year, I ended both semesters with a 1.8 GPA. I was not able to play my sport. I would get home and I wouldn't be able to go out or anything, you know? And with this program, they taught us, it was called LIFE. It's labor, influence, forgiveness, and experiences. And with learning all of this with my mentors, I ended the semester, my first time ever, ending my semester with 3.0. I've never had a 3.0 before. But Ambassador, not only me, some of my baseball teammates as well, they were also changed a lot. Yeah, thank you.
I invited Carlos today, and I had invited Juliana because she coordinates this program, because I want you to consider becoming a mentor for our students. If you would like to receive more information about the program, please see me or my executive team. Give us your card and we can call and provide you with information. But this is transformational, and this is what's happening in the lives of our students. Thanks to people like you, and thanks to parents and others who are serving as mentors in our district. I'm at my end here. If I were to ask you to walk a few classrooms with me and afterwards inquire about what you saw and observed, you might say that you saw renovated classrooms, students reading, doing math, participating in class, answering questions, fresh paint, new HVAC system, whatever. But as I conclude, I would ask you to see what we see on a daily basis in Paramount schools. What we see are lives that are being lifted up every day to become successful, educated citizens, such as future dentists, lawyers, CEOs, business owners, scientists, teachers, doctors, ministers, and more. What we see are lives that are learning that they were born with special talents and gifts that can create solutions in the future, such as the future scientist at Odyssey that wants to create a sensor for the blind so they don't bump into doors and walls. We see the lives that will one day solve issues like homelessness, overburdened jails, and crowded freeways. And we see lives saving lives as doctors, EMTs, police officers, and firefighters. Oftentimes, we see future presidents of the United States or congresswomen, congressmen, lawyers, and legislators. Again, please remember that the wealth of a community is contingent upon the success of its schools. And I want to thank everyone for your support of our schools, and most of all, congratulate the City of Paramount for the success of the Paramount Unified School District. Thank you.
Wonderful state of what's going on in the school district, and as part of the board of the chamber, we get to hear from her every month, and she shares all of these winning strategies and stories. I would definitely agree with the young man that there are many more positives than negatives. It outweighs it greatly, and so we really appreciate that we have such great guidance in our schools. And so our next featured speaker I'd like to bring up is our mayor and my friend, Diane Martinez.
Hello, everyone. It's good to see you all here today. We appreciate your interest in what's going on in our town. Our city manager, John Moreno, will review most of the highlights from last year. But first, I feel compelled to talk about something that has had a profound effect on our city over the last couple of years. There are those who believe that the words Paramount and hexavalent chromium have become completely interwoven, that this has become our identity. I don't feel I am dismissing the significance of that problem when I say that reducing a city to a single issue is too simplistic. While the discussions over this became heated at times, even argumentative, I know that everyone involved has spoken from the heart. And through it all, remarkable progress has been made. The city never shied away from the questions that needed answers, providing as much information and assistance as necessary to tackle the issue. It echoes an episode from our past that some of you might remember. In the early 1980s, Paramount was called one of the worst suburbs in the country in a Rand Corporation study. Back then, city leaders and staff didn't ignore the report. They went into action mode. The spirit still flourishes here today. We have worked constantly with numerous agencies to fight the air quality battle. John has shared with you in the past many of the tools we used and approaches we took. One of the most significant was a long-term comprehensive reevaluation of our zoning code for the industrial areas. This was an exhaustive undertaking, unprecedented in many ways, to ensure future environmental protections. I would like to thank some of the businesses, experts in the industry, whose knowledge and assistance helped us develop this amending to our code. It was approved by the City Council in August 2018, and it will safeguard our city greatly in the future. Thankfully, the South Coast Air Quality Management District related the following in its June 2018 report, Updated Air Monitoring Plan for Paramount. They quoted, hexavalent chromium concentrations at all locations have declined substantially over time. Levels in the city of Paramount have been declining already and are now within the typical levels, end of quote. For this, we sincerely thank everyone who voiced their thoughts, opinions, and ideas. Like everything else here, teamwork mattered. The value of this teamwork was recognized toward the end of the year. The AQMD gave Paramount the Model Community Achievement Award at its 30th Annual Clean Air Awards. The award was a sturdy show of support that the actions we took were sensible, decisive, and appropriate. AQMD even said that we did, in the face of environmental troubles, could be a blueprint of other cities to follow. And we're not going to stop there. On that subject, I'll say more in a minute. We did a lot of other things last year to make Paramount clean and green. Just last week, we joined the Clean Power Alliance that has made it possible for electricity customers in Paramount to get their power from cleaner generating sources like wind and solar. We brought grid alternatives to town and promoted their program, which provides free solar installations for Paramount homeowners who qualify income-wise. We received a grant to install electric vehicle charging stations at various locations. These will be available soon, and residents with electric vehicles can charge up for free. The city has actually been going green for decades. We use clean fuel vehicles, LED lighting, and reclaimed water. We remove pollutants from stormwater before it enters the ocean. We use solar power at the city yard. We plant lots of trees. We require that contractors recycle demolition debris. We make sure that old tires are used to pave our streets. We're creating a bike master plan and much more. All of these efforts, in fact, won us another recognition last year, the Beacon Award from the Institute for Local Government for Environmental Sustainability Efforts. These are things we have done. Here's what we are going to do. We're going to be a determined, straightforward voice in expressing what we've learned as a city that has been in the environmental trenches. The past 2.5 years have been a time of education for all of us. Here's something that all of us have probably known all along, but because it's so pervasive and a part of our everyday lives, we take it for granted. The largest sources of air pollution in the LA Basin, particularly in our region, come from diesel engines, other motor vehicles, and the harbors. The ports of Long Beach and Los Angeles actually have plans to slash air pollution and health risks by replacing diesel trucks and cargo equipment with zero emissions technology over the next 2 decades. In our own small way, we have already begun to follow their lead on this regional problem. We started an air purifier rebate program last year that has subsidized the purchase of air purifiers and HVAC filters for residents. This will help keep those pollutants created by trucks and cars out of their homes. We're ending the Easy Rider shuttle system. those Blue City buses that run on diesel, and replacing them with clean fuel-burning Long Beach Transit buses. Also, we received a grant last year from the Port of Long Beach that paid for ultra-high performance HVAC filters at the Spanny Park Learning Center, which is near the 710 and the 105 freeways. Beyond that, the California Air Resources Board has a list of feasible measures for cities to take that can reduce tailpipe exhaust in our neighborhoods. For our future, we're studying that list to see what we can achieve in Paramount. We know that others have been in this fight for a long time. We know from our long history that partnerships are the way to establish success. So we're partnering with the groups that are doing everything they can. We've met with the advocacy group that represents cities in our region, and we are planning to meet with the ports to discuss ways we can support all of their efforts. We will continue to meet with others, along with our elected officials at the state and federal level, to gain further knowledge and help spread the message. While hexavalent chromium has been a menace in our industrial sector, rules have been adopted, controls have been developed, and monitoring has been instigated. We think it's time to turn our force to the larger issue at hand. With an eye on continued economic prosperity, we are fully committed to raising our voice of experience in ways that will hopefully produce healthy outcomes for all. The fact that we have such a strong sense of community here will enable and enrich that goal. It is indeed a lofty goal, but a worthy one. I think you would all agree. So thank you again for being here in support of our city. Each and every business represented here has a positive impact on our economy, and we truly value your presence in our community. At this time, it is my honor to introduce our city manager, John Moreno. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mayor. And thank you, President Tankledge, and all chamber members out there. It's always, let me get this, there we go, there I am. It's always been a pleasure to review the past year in Paramount with this audience, as you're all supportive and engaged in the city. So we're going to take a somewhat lighthearted angle today with a Did You Know structure that mixes fun facts with the real accomplishments of the city. So while reviewing 2018, I'm really struck by how much outreach, engagement, and connectivity there was between the city and the community. Of course, that's exactly what we're here for. We're here to be in touch with the people who live and work within our cozy 4.9 square miles on a regular and open basis, and to provide them with a safe, attractive, and well-run city. In Paramount, we've always tried to create a two-way street for communication and maintain close contact. Here's a quote I really like. It's by Valerie Jarrett, who was an advisor to President Obama. When you are in local government, you're on the ground, and you are looking into the eyes and hearts of the people. You are there to serve. It teaches you to listen. So here are some results of the City Council and city staff looking and listening this past year. But first, did you know that print is dead? Thanks to the internet and smartphones, weekly newspaper circulation in the U.S. has shrunk from 60 million in 1994 to 32 million today. Advertising revenue has gone from 65 billion in 2000 to less than 19 billion in 2016, and newsroom employment fell nearly 40% between 1994 and 2014. Those are just crazy, crazy numbers. On a local level, however, printed material is still an effective way to communicate, delivering a message to every address here in town. In fact, a survey of participants at one of our recent events found that a mailed postcard that you see here was how a majority of folks heard about it. We've actually increased the frequency of our print media that includes the Around Town newsletter. Around Town, it used to be distributed on a quarterly basis. Now it's monthly with shorter, more punchier stories. And of course, we still provide lots of content for the Pulse Beat every month. As the president mentioned, the president of the chamber, they've made some really nice changes to the paper's design, which I'm sure you've all noticed. But we've not ignored the more modern forms of communication. So Around Town has also joined the electronic world. To satisfy the appetites of our gadget fanatics, we launched an emailed version last year with about 4,000 subscribers so far. So please sign up for our e-quarterly newsletter on our website or by texting Around Town to 22828. Our Instagram and Facebook postings going out at least once a day, Monday through Friday, get a lot of traffic and comments. Please follow us there too if you don't already. So thanks to all these avenues, we've seen great increases in attendance at all of our events. Now, in a very significant public information move, we completely redesigned our city website last year. You can see this is the old website. It's now a new, more modern site with additional comprehensive features, including mobile-friendly access for our smartphone users. All of this to better serve our visitors. So we hope you use it, and we hope you like it. Here we go again. Did you know that in 1951, the first national live television broadcast occurred when President Harry Truman spoke at the Japanese Peace Treaty Conference in San Francisco? Now, fast forward to today's technology, we have joined the live streaming world with city council meetings broadcast on YouTube and Spectrum Cable. We then archive them on YouTube, and this is another way of bringing the city to the public. The city produces a lot of video, from short social media bursts to longer shows like Positively Paramount. Everything is at youtube.com/City of Paramount. So the next time you're surfing the web right at your desk while at work, wait, nobody does that here, right? Nobody, okay. Anyway, avoid those silly animal videos or the latest fashion influences, and maybe check out some of our Paramount stories. You can tell your boss you're doing research on the community and not being on the internet. With our council members, watching them on, with our council meetings, watching them on TV or a computer is very, very convenient. There's no doubt about that. But we've always encouraged community members to attend in person. It's valuable for people to see how local government works and realize they have a voice that can be heard through public comments. In that spirit, we added a public comment update to each council agenda where I respond to any questions that were asked or also provide clarification to any comments that were given at the previous meeting. Outside of meetings and media and mailings, another way we reach out to our residents is by producing events that are positive, entertaining, and educational. It's definitely a vital part of what we do, and 2018 was a banner year for these. But before we talk about events, did you know? On average, a typical sofa lasts between 7 and 15 years, and the EPA says that 8.5 million tons or 17 billion pounds of furniture is thrown away each year. Unfortunately, about half of that seems to get dumped in our alleyways and on the streets. So to help with the proper disposal of these things that won't fit actually in your trash can, our contracted trash hauler, Calmet, who's in the back, they offer free large item pickups for most residential accounts. Now, to help it make it even more convenient, the city started an event we call Clutter-Free Paramount. It's a one-stop shop for residents to drop off unwanted bulky items, e-waste, green waste, and documents for shredding. We just held our second clutter-free event last month and had almost double the number of participants. So we appreciate residents' enthusiasm in making this a success. Did you know it only takes about 6 weeks to manufacture, fill, sell, recycle, and then remanufacture one aluminum beverage can? So remember, next time you're drinking that Diet Pepsi, somebody else's lips, we're on it less than a week ago, so be careful with that. But anyway, that is an Earth Day fact about recycling. So in April, to coincide with Earth Day, we produced our first eco-friendly fair. It featured a nice variety of vendors and booths bringing information about living green to our residents. We even raffled off an electric lawnmower to one happy resident. For Arbor Day, we had our first Arbor Day tree planting that saw teams of volunteers add 180 trees to our already lush urban forest, all paid for by grant funds. In June, we mounted the second annual Heritage Festival, celebrating our history and our diverse culture. We then embarked on our annual summer concert series in Progress Park that features 6 bands playing a nice variety of genres. In November, we have a lot of events. In November, we had our first Veterans Day breakfast and fair, honoring those in town who have served our country. The highlight that day was Ms. Eleanor Otto, an original Rosie the Riveter, who shared some great stories. You know, she turns 100 years old this year, and she was laid off at Boeing when she was at the youthful age of 95 years old. No kidding, 95 years old. Yeah, she deserves an applause for that. She was an amazing woman. Then came our holidays. Paramount is all about the holidays. We love the holidays. And we launched into our renowned Halloween festival, our senior Thanksgiving lunch, and of course our Christmas traditions. In particular, it was the 50th anniversary of our beloved Christmas train. Once again, it stopped in every neighborhood, bringing 22,000 candy canes and apples and wide-eyed wonder for all the kids in Paramount. Another way of enhancing quality of life for our residents is by attracting good places to eat, shop, and conduct the business of living. Did you know about 3 billion pizzas, there's John, are sold in the U.S. each year? 3 billion. That's over 251 million pounds of pizza, almost 100 acres of pizza a day, 200 million square feet of pizza a month, and 6,000 slices in a lifetime. Whew. And the most popular seafood in the country? Shrimp. We all eat about 4 pounds a year of shrimp. Now, I mentioned these things to introduce our latest restaurants that opened last year, and that's the Pizza Press and the Stinkin' Crawfish. These two unique dining experiences completed the Clearwater Crossing development that also features Chipotle, Waba Grill, and The Habit. It's really been a hallmark of our revamped downtown, and to introduce an array of places to eat and go, and they all seem to be thriving. For instance, Paramount's first national chain sit-down restaurant, IHOP, opened in 2018. The city got involved, and we actually encouraged IHOP to come to town by providing grant funds to spruce up the building through our commercial rehabilitation program. Speaking of food, did you know that you burn more calories eating celery than celery contains? So the more celery you eat, the thinner you get. So think about that before summer arrives, right? Nutritious food, really good nutritious food, it leads to a healthy body. In that same manner, a robust building and economic development is a sign of a vibrant city. Our community development and building and safety departments were very busy this last year. Our building and safety staff issued 1,279 construction permits and conducted 13,769 inspections. That's between two guys that did those inspections. And that's actually up from 2017 when there were 11,261 inspections, and construction permits were about the same with 1,013. As far as new projects, construction began on Horchata Ria Luna's flagship location on Paramount Boulevard in the former bank and dance studio building. It's expected to be open by late spring. Across town on Rosecrans, a new self-storage facility replaced a blighted, low-performing restaurant that was there, and it's really an attractive design, as you can see here on the slide. It looks more like an office building than a place to store people's stuff. When it came to new housing construction, the biggest development was a 30-home neighborhood called Cinta Azul. It took the place of a former horse stable property and little-used portions of the Home Depot parking lot, and it did sell out very, very quickly. You know, Paramount is a good place to live for a number of reasons, and our property values have been increasing because of that. The median home value in town, according to Zillow, which gets its information from public sources like county records, is actually $419,000, which is an increase of 4.1% over the last year. But what's really remarkable is that in just 6 short years ago, the median value was $218,000, and this led to an increase since then of 92.7%. We're adding 34 more high-quality housing units that began plan check and construction last year. Unemployment in the community continues to improve as well. The latest figures is 4.7 compared to 4.9 the previous year. I'm not sure if many of you recall, but at the peak of the recession, we had 18% unemployment at Paramount. So that's been a dramatic turnaround. Yeah. Now, in 2018, we held a variety of forums for residents to get information and give opinions on a number of programs affecting Paramount. These involved some new partners to enhance services to the community. There were a series of meetings to gain feedback on the changes that we're making to our city transit, as had mentioned earlier. These changes are grouped under the umbrella Paramount in Motion. We're ending the city-provided bus lines and the college-bound shuttle, among others, and replacing them with better options with partners like Long Beach Transit and also Metro. For instance, College Bound provides transit service, taking Paramount students to just a pair of community colleges. With the changes, those kids will receive a transit card that will take them to any college destination of their choice on the Long Beach or Metro systems for free. Overall, these changes which take effect this weekend will improve regional mobility and convenience for Paramount residents. It'll save us quite a bit of money in operating costs and also avoid a hefty price tag to replace our aging fleet. Now, speaking of public transit, I mentioned Metro earlier. They will actually be building a light rail station, and it will pass through Paramount, and we'll have one station here. They are hoping to break ground in 2022 with completion by 2028. Once finished, riders will be able to go from Artesia to Union Station in downtown LA. This will be a great resource for us. At the same time, it could have significant impacts. This led Metro to holding a series of community meetings, one of which took place here in this room. And they held it to let residents know about it. But we were concerned again, so we conducted extensive outreach into the community. And as a result, this meeting here saw record attendance and was an educational experience for our community. Last year, we created a plan to combat homelessness using a grant from the county. To discuss the plan and to again engage our residents, there was a forum to share thoughts on this very important subject. Some intriguing and positive ideas were expressed that have become a part of our overall initiative. According to the LA County Homeless Count, we had 111 homeless individuals in Paramount in 2017. That figure dropped to 83 last year, so that is progress. Oh, thank you. To assist our homeless neighbors, we partnered with two nonprofit groups. In 2018, as a result, about 34 homeless people received outreach services with the help of such as medical attention, getting a state ID card, or getting temporary shelter. Now, another constructive goal for city government is engaging our youth. Last year, we took a step to increase participation in various family resources, like sports and before and after school care. We did this by entering into agreement with our partners at the YMCA. The Y brings its reputation and talents, and we were able to cut some of our operational costs, which is a win-win. And I believe the YMCA is in the back. Wave your hand there, Jeremy. Thank you very much, folks, for being here. One of the most ambitious endeavors Paramount does for its young people is through the Paramount Education Partnership. It was definitely mentioned earlier by Superintendent Perez, or as we call it, PEP, which includes the city, the school district, and the chamber, and is celebrating its 15th anniversary this year. So, we hit a mighty milestone last year with the PEP scholarships, $1 million awarded since the program began. So that's definitely a testament to this program. I want to thank the school district, definitely for really stepping to the plate with their fundraising efforts. Last year, through various events and competitions, they contributed a generous $122,000 to the fund. That's amazing. The business community has really been the bedrock in regards to supporting the scholarship. So I'd like to show you a short video that we've made about these efforts.
My husband and I have been donating to PEP program ever since we first opened our coffee shop.
The PEP program is a wonderful scholarship program that helps local kids from the Paramount Unified School District get to college and help their financial needs.
My greatest investment, I think, is in spearheading a March Madness among all our schools. And as a result of that, in the last 2 years, we've collected over $250,000 in scholarships for our students.
The kids that would be receiving it and have received it in the past are definitely the kids that need that extra amount of scholarship just to make things a little bit easier for them to pay for school.
It's really a community-based program with every segment of the community investing and participating in its success.
We're unique that we have a school district that works great with the city and the city council. It's a grassroots program. It comes from the bottom up through the community. It's accepted by families, parents, the kids, and gets to the council and the school board.
I want our kids to have every opportunity and every support that they can to be able to make their college dreams a reality.
The opportunities that the scholarship has afforded me is to attend this beautiful campus, have the college experience, meeting new professors, meeting new people, creating bonding relationships with my peers, and just getting a better education.
The opportunities that the scholarship has afforded me is being able to pay my necessities, such as the school materials and books. So the scholarship was able to give me the opportunity to be able to be prepared in my classes.
When I got the scholarship, I had no words. It motivated me to be in college even more, because knowing that I have support from my Paramount community, from my teachers, the staff there, the council members, and all the ones in charge of the PEP scholarship.
This year we hit the $1 million mark, which means that we've given $1 million in scholarships to Paramount High School graduates and or residents. They thank us for that opportunity to get them started, and they've accomplished what they've wanted to do in their life.
It's a very important, worthwhile contribution that you make to the community, and that you're really shaping the future leaders of the city of Paramount.
For the donors, I don't think that there are enough words to say thank you. The payoff, we're seeing it with our kids, we're seeing it with our city, and our kids are succeeding, and thank you for those donations.
I'm very grateful and I'm very thankful for everything that you guys have done to make this scholarship available and happen for us incoming freshmen.
To those of you who have already donated or are considering donating, I really want to thank you. It really makes a difference.
A special message I have to the donors is thank you so much for being able to help us out and contributing to an amazing organization of leading us to success. I know we are the next generation, and personally I won't disappoint you guys, and soon maybe I can become a donor as well.
Benefits of donating to the Paramount Education Partnership include publicity in the Pulse Beat newspaper, city website, the Around Town newsletter, and city social media platforms. For more information on how to donate and to see a list of current PEP donors, visit ParamountEducation.org.
Great, and I believe Trepepi Smith is the consultant that put that video together. Are they still here? Right there. Yeah, very good work at doing that. Thank you. Thank you. Now, turning into the realm of capital projects, but first, did you know Paramount Iceland has what may be the only pipe organ playing regular in any ice skating rink in the country? Right near Iceland is our public plaza, the Pond, which will be celebrating its 20th birthday this year. The Pond is a tribute to the ice skating history that is embodied in Iceland. We did a renovation project there last year, replacing the decorative ice surface with something sturdier and prettier, using money from our public art fund. Once that was finished, the Pond became the backdrop to some great press coverage that Paramount received on KABC Channel 7 morning newscasts. Former resident and city employee Annabelle Munoz, a reporter at KBC, she came to town. She shared her memories about growing up and working here and featured residents and local businesses on the show. Did you know the first publicly sanctioned dog park was located in Berkeley in 1983? No big surprises there, I guess. So Paramount doesn't quite have the open space that a Berkeley has, but we do have a lot of dogs here. So to help their owners and to keep all of our parkland for human use, we entered with a partnership with the city of Southgate on a community dog park in Hollydale Park. It's just over our northern border and available for all Paramount people and pooches. Did you know the first asphalt-based pavement was laid in Paris in 1858, and the first similar paved road in the U.S. was in Newark, New Jersey in 1870? I say this because repaving local roads is one of a municipal government's most important jobs. We have a long-term plan for balancing our residential and major arterial streets for upgrades on the roads, curbs, and gutters. Last year, we completed portions of heavily traveled Alondra and Paramount Boulevards, as well as several neighborhood avenues. We have another multi-year project along our main streets, and that's for water conservation. We've been switching over to drought-tolerant landscaping for our traffic medians. In 2018, we did this on portions of Alondra and Paramount and replaced a lot of dead grass. We still have more medians to go, and many of them have turned to dirt like this. Because former Governor Brown signed an executive order banning cities from watering lawns. So if you see one of these scraggly medians, rest assured that we're aware of it, and we'll be freshening it up soon. You know, the city's top job, our number one priority, is protecting the community. The most pronounced way is through our public safety department. Working with the Sheriff's Department, we saw another substantial decline in Part 1 crimes last year. It was a 9% reduction. And that included, and that included a 50% drop in homicides and a 22% decrease in auto theft. So if you look at the city's 10-year trend, these crimes are down by a big 14%. In fact, you have to go back to the early 1970s to find comparable levels when, of course, we had a lot fewer people that were living here. For example, in 1970, when our population was 35,000, there were 1,579 crimes. Over the next 2 days, crime went a little bit crazy, and it peaked somewhere in 1994. And then if you jump to last year, in a city roughly 55,000 people, we had a total of 1,761 crimes. So nearly 50 years ago, there were 45 crimes committed for every 1,000 people in Paramount. Today, there are 32 for every 1,000 people. Now, I call that extraordinary progress, and I want to thank the Sheriff's Department for being our steadfast partners. I believe they're in the building, so congratulations, guys. There is a subset of crime stats that shows even further truly remarkable improvement, and that's with gang activity. Over the past 10 years, gang-related crimes have declined by 94%. I like to say that again, 94%. So if you see here on the slide, in 2009, there were 145 such crimes, and last year there were 8. Doing the battle with gangs through our GRIP program in schools and with specialized programs with the Sheriff's Department has been a focus in Paramount for many years, and it's really made a big difference. You know what also has made a big difference last year? To specifically deter property crimes, we started a home security rebate pilot program. This gave up to $200 for the purchase of a security product or service. I know it's a funny video. For a product or service like an alarm system, security cameras, doorbell cameras, exterior floodlights, and so on. It was hugely successful, and all the money set aside was dispersed. I like to think it contributed to the 25% drop in burglaries that we had last year. Public safety received the largest chunk of our budget, and that budget was a balanced one last year. We've noticed a trend, however. Even with all the cost-cutting measures we've taken over the last 5 to 6 years, due to the elimination of our redevelopment agency, expenses are stubbornly outpacing revenues. Now, we'll be watching this very closely over the coming months as we develop our budget for the next year. Being conservative and careful with the public's money has always been a hallmark of Paramount. To reinforce this for the second year in a row, we had our auditors do an extra audit to see if we have holes in how we manage our books and pay our bills. This produced some extra controls to further protect taxpayer funds. Now, as I draw to a close, get ready for an onslaught of trivia. Here we go. I love this stuff. Did you know that lightning strikes the earth 6,000 times every minute? A quarter of all your bones are in your feet? 8% of people have an extra rib? A 1-minute kiss burns 26 calories? Unless food is mixed with saliva, you can't taste it. Rabbits like licorice. The longest recorded flight of a chicken is 13 seconds. Birds need gravity to swallow. Cats have over 100 vocal cords. Did you know that it's physically impossible for pigs to look up in the sky? The first letters of the months, July through November, spelled Jason, and Venetian blinds were actually invented by the Japanese. All of these tidbits were on didyouknows.com. The site also said that the oldest word in the English language is town, which would be wonderful and fascinating, but the BBC News website says the oldest English words are I, we, the numbers 2 and 3. So who knows, maybe truth is an elusive thing. Maybe all these facts that I just shared with you are all baloney. One thing, however, is true beyond a shadow of a doubt. The internet is truly amazing. And you know what else is amazing? The city of Paramount. We truly are a top-notch town full of committed and caring people. I speak for everyone who works in all of our departments when I say it's our pleasure and privilege to keep things moving in the right direction and serve our entire community. I appreciate for all you being here today and listening to me. Thank you very much and have a good rest of your day.
That was very educational for me. I learned a lot there. I'm going to use my new World Energy straw to drink out of my Diet Coke can from now on. And I'll probably be adding celery to my pizza so I can try to balance out the calorie deficit or surplus I have. But we'll just close with adding and remarking on a few upcoming events. And so for that, I'll turn it over to Barbara.
I always get really excited when we have this event. It shows me what's happening here in this town. And the thing that I notice the most, the integral thread, is education. Did you guys hear that? And I'm thankful too for our educators that are here today. PUSD is here, Compton College is here, Cerritos College has some representatives. So thank you. Education is a critical part of our community, and you can see that in today's event. So I want to just, in closing, just that you guys will enjoy some of the events that we have coming up. Put those on your calendar. We have a networking event at Pizza Press coming up on the 20th. We have our job fair, which is very important to the community, coming up on March 9th. And Wavefront Technologies is our sponsor. And then we also have our golf tournament coming up on April 22nd, and that's going to be at the Huntington Beach Seacliff Golf Country Club. So put those on your calendar. There's some more events coming up, so we'll have lots more to tell you. For the centerpieces, you know, we always like to give those away, so I know everybody's looking at them thinking who's going to get it. So I would like to challenge you, whoever's birthday is closest to Valentine's Day, I want you to be able to choose on your table who gets to take that home, take it home and enjoy. Thank you, World Energy, for sponsoring today, and also for encouraging us to be green. And so the little cactuses are also in keeping with that. So thank you again.